Hey everybody, can you believe it? 2 Isaac episodes. Now Isaac, hear me out here. Let's not do this thing, okay? I know we've had an on again, off again, Ross and Rachel type thing going on. Let's not do the thing where the first episode I record is awesome and I'm like, I love Isaac, and then the second episode I record, you give me like no HP upgrades, minimal DPS from the start of the game onwards. Oh, yeah, honestly, I have to look at this, I have to say, it looks good. It looks good to me. This looks fantastic. I like our stats. I like our look. I like our active item. I have no problem with perhaps entering this door. Now, we're going to take a guppy item. We're not going to keep it, though. Book of Shadows is probably... Like, it's a dangerous situation, because historically for me, Guppy's Head is probably one of the items I overrate the most, and Book of Shadows, though usable... and I have used it, is one of the items I probably underrate the most, because I have a tendency to overrate items you use every room, I think, and also a tendency to underrate items that give you defense instead of damage. Because it's just like Dark Souls, right? You can be like, oh, I don't need any extra defense, I'll just not get hit. It's a psychological problem for me, okay? And for a lot of people, it happens to lots of guys I've heard. Especially when you've been drinking. Then you're not thinking straight, you know? Now, which I have not been. There's a joke about it. See, I was making a joke about it when it happens to lots of guys. There's a joke about a certain type of sexual dysfunction, and then when you've been drinking, and then you see we brought it all together. Look, I don't want to have to be the joke explainer, okay? The safe thing is, if anything ever sounds strange, just assume it was a joke that was 10 out of 10, and everybody's laughing except you. So... you should just pretend to have gotten it and laugh along with me. How does that sound? Red Patch actually did something. 2022 challenge. I didn't know such a thing was possible. Take me down to the next floor. 1/3 of the way to Guppy, 2/3 of the way to Bookworm. HP was not in a great spot, but that's okay. Now, the big problem with Angel Deals being so good, and it really is largely just a good thing, the big problem is that it's so much harder to become Guppy. But even, like, with 1 HP, I don't want to do Devil Deals, man. There's, like... yeah, I'm just giving you my honest, unfiltered thoughts. The way I look at Devil Deals right now, 25% of the items are pretty good. Pardon me. About, let's say... 60% of the items do absolutely nothing or are bad. Oh my god, they're all health ups. Never mind, we might go to a deal with the devil. After all that. Sure. Permanent stat bonus when healing with red hearts. It's a dream come true. And then like 15% of them basically win you the game outright. I don't know if I kept the numbers in my head properly there, but you get the idea. Now, deals with the angel, I would say like, you know, 2/3 of them are effectively completely useless, but there is a catch. They're free, which is a deal with the devil. You know, you're paying for the privilege of being like, what the heck does this do? And the answer is usually not all that much. What a hit, man. Do it again. Now, that being said, I think I'm going to do it just because we have so much HP, man. I think we got to give it a try. That's good enough. And you know what? I think that's good enough, too. Is a damage upgrade. In for a penny, in for a pound. The game has been very kind to me recently. Now, anecdotally, I don't have a whole lot to talk about, you know? You know, what's happened in my life in the past few weeks? I've become a stellar parallel parker, I think. From doing so much parallel parking out in front of the daycare. It's become one of the things almost that I look forward to the most daily, is doing the parallel. Because I feel like I'm getting pretty good, man. Not good to the... like, there's some spots I see, and I'm like, I bet I could do it, but I don't want to right now. I'd rather drive a quarter of a block and find a better spot. But definitely, like, I'm going in with a renewed confidence that in my teens, I never thought I would get to. I've become one of those people who's just like... I'm not gonna drive around looking for a lot. I would rather just parallel park, and it's kind of... It feels good. Apart from that, Here's a story for you. Old heads may remember, I was complaining about how I couldn't seem to watch the show Only Murders in the Building on Disney Plus, okay? And I found myself using Disney Plus again because I got sick of Netflix. Okay, stop walking into enemies for no reason. Because, I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I got annoyed that they canceled Archive 81. I don't want to use the app for a bit, which is probably, I'm not canceling my subscription, so if anything, it's probably better for them that I am not using the app, and yet, for now at least, I'm still paying for the service. So it shows what I know. But, hold on. Two of Hearts. Not really that good right now. But alas, it feels like I'm taking action, which in some ways is meritorious, I suppose. Either way, they canceled Archive 81. And then it wouldn't be so bad if they canceled Archive 81, and then they were like, oh yeah, like it's expensive to produce and it didn't do that well, and we're really having a hard time right now. But they're not having a hard time. Like, they're having a hard time keeping customers, but one of the reasons they're having a hard time keeping customers is because they keep canceling cool shows like Archive 81, and instead Netflix is like where I go now to find, hey, you ever want to watch people that are bad at baking bake something? Hey, you ever want to watch like 12 hot idiots go to an island and like pretend that they're not gonna have intercourse and then have intercourse? Like, sure, for like 6 or 7 seasons, but I've had my fill now. So why are you keep greenlighting these like season 1? Whoa, what a cool idea. It wasn't all there. Like, Archive 81 was not perfect and it ended pretty badly. I'm gonna go back for a second, but like, it's way, I was not like on the ending. I was not. Let me put it this way. Okay, like, if you shouldn't watch Archive 81 now because it's canceled. So don't even watch it. So I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. Basically, the ending of the show reeked of, hey, we don't really want this to be the ending, but the way that the current model works, we have to like hit you with a cliffhanger at the end of a season in order to like give you a compelling reason to start watching the second season, where we can then tell 9 episodes of a good story, and then in the 10th episode embed another cliffhanger in the hopes to get picked up for season 3. Well, they did that, then they didn't get picked up. Guppy's tail, how about that? So they basically had like, well, I guess we're moving on, unfortunately. I would like to play the self-sacrifice room a little more, but mostly I was doing that to get candy heart action anyway. They sold out, which I don't blame them for, even though it was unsatisfying, and then the show got canceled anyway. So like, everybody sucks here, maybe is a good way to describe it. So I was like, you know what, there's some stuff on Disney Plus. It's not all just Marvel movies that I've already seen and cried at before. So I went to my Disney Plus account, and wouldn't you know it, I finally diagnosed why I could never find the show Only Murders in the Building. For some reason, when my account was set up, they got me stuck in PG-13. I was unable to. Whenever I would search for Only Murders in the Building, it probably activated like an alarm at Disney headquarters, and they were like, somebody who's a teenager is trying to watch something with murder in it. They just typed murder into the search engine. And as a result, I would never find it. So I switched that to rated R so I can watch all the crazy violent stuff on Disney Plus, of which there is approximately none. But, you know, I watched almost all of Only Murders in the Building. I'm waiting for the final episode of the Elizabeth Holmes, Michael Showalter, Amanda Seyfried show, The Dropout, which I've enjoyed it immensely so far. I've been watching Survivor. It's a fun season of Survivor so far. That's about it, though. Yeah, okay, look, I love the A24 stuff, okay? I'll go see, you know, Bodies when it comes out, or maybe I'll see, if I can find the time to go see The Northman. I would love to go see The Northman. It looks fantastic. It's getting great reviews, okay? If there's one lesson I could impart upon you today, it's possible to watch some trash TV, but also still recognize, like, good taste when you see it, okay? I think that people that they're so like rigid in what they consider to be acceptable entertainment is backwards, man. It's your entertainment. How bored do you have to be like, oh, I would rather than watching something that entertains myself, I would rather watch something that entertained other people, so they'll think more positively of me. Nah, man, go if you enjoy watching. I would love to be like, oh, Survivor. Sorry, my Dostoevsky book club meets at that time. But like when I read Notes from Underground, I was like, this is boring as hell. When I watched Survivor, I'm like, oh, snap. It's edited to make it look like Jonathan might not win the immunity challenge. And then that dude just straight up wins the immunity challenge because he's the most physically imposing specimen on the entire island right now. It just gets the blood pumping. There's nothing embarrassing about that, man. People will literally, like, watch only Daniel Day-Lewis movies and be like, I have a good media diet, and eat only chicken tenders. Do you realize, like, how messed up that is? You gotta take care of your mind and your body, man. Or neither. I'm just asking for some consistency here, okay? All I'm saying is that it's fine. It's fine if you want to be a bit of a media snob, but if you yell at me for watching Survivor, and I ever see you eating an Oreo, I feel like I should be able to hit you with the same level of withering virulence that you've hit me with. I want you to hear venomous malevolence. Oh, that's not okay? That's punching down? Oh, were you crazy? I just walked over here. Blue key. No, thank you. Okay, what the heck are we trying to do? I feel like on this floor, and all floors, I'm basically just trying to make candy hard work. Oh, I should have known. But then there's another part of me that's like, you know what would also be sick is getting a key, which we have not had access to for quite some time. Not a very consumable rich game so far. Still, very little to complain about, okay? We're one item away from becoming Guppy. We have great damage and rate of fire. Like, everything's looking pretty good, man. Everything's looking okay. I don't think we're in a lot of danger, but if we get hit once, that'll change. Now I'm trying to remember if I spent like 1,000 keys on golden chests for no reason. No, because if I spent 1,000 keys on golden chests, we would have golden keys right now. Or we would... Golden keys? If we spend 1,000 keys, we would have keys right now, because that's how golden chests work. They provide keys. Most of the time. Ooh. Okay. We can use 2 bombs to get into our cursed room. It's nice because I definitely do not want to go at cost. And obviously, like, this is pretty much a dream come true. I think I would keep my red heart, and we've become Guppy. And now, wouldn't you know it, I'm not as concerned about our item room shop situation. Now, I gotta level with you. I just don't want to play this guy very much. It's just, you're just slow and annoying. So, sure, I'll take that. And if it costs me an item room in a shop, so be it. And if it costs me the run, so be it. I'm living for me now, man. I'm watching Survivor. I changed. I'm edgy now. Whatever, I'm leaving. How do you feel about that? You know what? Send me in. Super Guppy, Super Guppy. Boy, you got my heartbeat running away, beating like a drum, and it's drumming away. Can't you see that boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, baby? He's got that Super Guppy. That was a long way to go. I apologize to you. That's an incredible trinket for us. Hold on. I love it. I love it. So anyway, that's basically it. Now, I know what you're going to ask, because if you know me, you know what to ask. NL, how much of your enjoyment of The Dropout is directly influenced by the first episode featuring Wolf Parade's magnum opus, I'll Believe in Anything, one of 2005's best indie rock tracks, and one of the best indie rock tracks from, you know, the Montreal indie scene in general. No disrespect to the Arcade Fire, of course. Some. More than none. That's something you don't hear that you don't hear it in too many media properties, quite frankly. It's not that noteworthy of a song in the broad sense. I mean, like, you could hear Neighborhood Number 3 Wake Up by, wait, Neighborhood Number 3 is Powers Out. I apologize. You could hear Wake Up by the Arcade Fire in a movie trailer and be like, snore. Last time I heard that, I fell off my dinosaur. If you hear a Wolf Parade song in a trailer, you're going to be like, this is incredible. If you're in the know, at least. Hold on. Quick Tua hearts. I do recognize we do have the potentiality of a super guppy. I think I have to take it. And I know that it doesn't do anything for us. However, we're in the midst of setting a world record for most guppy items. And that means something more to me than just like, oh, the booger tier is the smart idea. It's the symbology of it. I mean, the symbolism of it. Okay, hold on. There's something to this as well. From having no guppy items or one guppy item on so many runs, we're now, I believe, at a running total of 6 guppy items. That's pretty sweet. Could you make it 7? I don't even... Is it possible even? I'm hoping the answer is yes. Okay, well, it is what it is. Quick little addicted pill. Why everything's supposed to feel bad, make me feel so good. And still, you know, we're keyless, man. Like the entry on a vehicle. These days. So true. So true. We got there. Anyway. So yeah, that's my update of what's new on Disney Plus. It was also, like, it's the perfect story because I'm an adult. And yet, almost nothing I'd ever tried to watch on Marvel had been rated R. I don't know what that says about my taste in, like, media. I know exactly what it says, but I would rather you didn't say it. Yeah, let's leave. I mean, money equals power is a big get here. People ask all the time about, like, your parenting style as well, right? They'll ask things like, speaking of which, how are you going to approach R-rated movies with, like, your child? Well, I don't know. She's 18 months old, so the answer is, like, probably not going to worry about it too much for a bit. How... oh, it worked. We just happened to be on a nice round number. But I think here's my philosophy. And look, I got nothing really against like the MPAA or the ESRB or whatever. I recognize what they're doing. And some parents are like way more hands-on, right? Like, way more high maintenance maybe is a way to describe it. I definitely don't want to be one of those parents who is like, my kid says the F word and they're 3. It's just a word. Like, that's true, but also they become the main character of every activity they ever go to as a result of that. I don't want her to have that kind of attention. I don't want me to take that kind of heat. But I would say Leviathan. How about that? I would say for me personally, I'm not that concerned about my daughter seeing something with adult themes. Like, not everything that's rated R is created equal. Like, if a movie has, like, a love scene or something like that, my kid's, like, 8 years old, I'm not gonna sweat that, man. That doesn't bother me, like, at all. That's, like, a natural human thing. Now, if the movie has, you know, people blowing each other's heads off, like it was a Martin Scorsese joint or something like that, that's something where I would, you know, maybe wait until she's a little bit older. But the funny thing is that the Motion Picture Association treats sex, swearing, and a man getting shot in the gut as, like, roughly equivalent sins when it comes to restricting a movie. Now, that's fine in the sense that they're trying to create like a one-size-fits-all solution and different parents get offended by different things. But, like, I feel like there's some room for nuance there, right? Like, like, it's rated R to watch a man get shot in the spine. That shouldn't be the same level of rating as, like, 2 adults not even engaging on screen in any kind of coitus, but the implication being that there was coitus, and also, oh heavens me, there might be a female nipple or something like that. I didn't even have to say male genitalia, because I don't know if it's legal to make a movie in Hollywood that shows off male genitalia. Foreign films, sure, but in the United States, that might get you up in front of Joseph McCarthy. I'm not totally sure how that goes. And in Canada too, potentially. I'm not gonna act like we're superior in this sense. But the answer is really, I don't know. Like, I was always nervous to like watch gory movies as a kid. And then when I was like, you know, maybe 13, 14, I just started, you know, seeing them because my friends wanted to see them. And then I was like, wait a minute, this is just a movie. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's all simulated. It's not a real thing. Now, I guess what I'm trying to say is I would like my daughter to be old enough to make that distinction. I'm not worried that she would watch Fight Club and turn into Tyler Durden. I'm worried that she would watch Fight Club and not sleep for a week because some of the content might disturb her at her young age. So that's where it's the same with like violent video. I mean, I played violent video games from the time I was a little child onwards, and you know, do not have violent tendencies. If anything, games like Super Auto Pets, I'm not going to say they make me violent, but they make me want to sometimes like throw my phone into the dishwasher and turn on the extra hot cycle. Because you're like, I can't deal with one more honey badger, I'm going to lose my mind, right? Hold on, secret room? But it's funny, like my mom wouldn't let me buy Diablo when I was a kid. I mean, I was like 12 years old. She wouldn't let me buy Diablo. I waited until she went on a business trip, and then I had my dad take me to EB Games, and I just bought it. And he was like, does your mom know you're getting this? And I said, yeah. And then it was totally fine because my mom's not insane, thankfully. But it is also funny looking back and realizing, like, it's just a toy. Like, you're just spamming, like, you know, fireballs out of your wizard staff. It's not that, like, my personal opinion, I'm not too worried about, you know, my daughter playing violent video games. Now, again, there are some things that, you know, I would probably let her play. I mean, to be fair, Diablo does have, like, some gross imagery, don't get me wrong, but, like, it's the perfect age to experience kind of gross imagery. You tell your friends, like, oh, man, did you remember the butcher from Diablo? Remember that? And not be traumatized, hopefully. But then, I will tell you, I was like 9, I rented Mortal Kombat 3 for N64, and I got fatalitied by the computer, and I was playing as a nice lady, I don't remember who it was, but the fatality was a stage KO that caused her to fall backwards through the floor and be impaled on a bed of spikes. I didn't sleep for like 3 days. So I guess the roundabout thing I'm trying to say is I feel like the question is phrased differently sometimes. Most of like the content warnings or like restrictions that I have in mind for my child, and you know, any plan can wither at contact with the enemy, right? I'm just, you know, the best laid plans of mice and men, yada yada yada, make God laugh. But they're less like I can shield her from everything bad and she will therefore grow into a perfect person. And they're much more like, I don't want her to not sleep for a week because she saw, oh my God, Lil Dumpy. That was a great play. Because she saw, you know, a man's head explode in Scanners or something like that. As long as you teach your kids, I think that, you know, a movie is a movie and is not real. As long as they're mature enough to not be scarred by it temporarily, because I don't think anyone's getting scarred for life because of what they see in a movie as a kid. But, you know, I'm not worried about, like, I had a friend who, in middle school, it was like 8th or 9th grade, I can't remember. She was 12 and a half years old. Their mom would not let her watch PG-13 movies. That's not a recipe for proper adjustment, okay? I recognize that the MPAA says that, like, I mean, even PG-13 doesn't mean don't watch this movie until you're 13. It means, hey, parents, if you have an under 13-year-old, read the back of the box. But, like, they might just say the F word. It's not you know, if you got a 12-year-old and they can't watch a movie that has the F word, I guess I'm another guppy item, by the way. I guess all I can say to you at that point is good luck, because the airwaves are pretty unmonitored. You could just, hey, you'll just hear someone shout F outside at times. I love, both times I've watched Uncut Gems, I've treated myself to reading the Common Sense reviews, or Common Sense media reviews of the movie afterwards. It's so good, man. And again, what I'm about to say is judgmental. And if this is you, just own it. It's fine. I just don't get it, and maybe you can explain it to me. But seeing review after review of, like, grown adults who have, like, lived through real stuff, being like, I had to turn this movie after 5 minutes because they said the F word so much. It was assaulting my ears. Like, you're not gonna make it, man. It's just a word. Like, there's some words that I find jarring to hear, I guess, out of nowhere. Like, if I was watching a Martin Scorsese movie and then Robert De Niro was like, you know, he said fluffer nutter, I would be like, whoa, where did that come from? But, like, they're not gonna jump through the screen and, like, strangle you or anything. Like, if you're a little kid, I get it. The word holds, like, a lot of power. But if you're like a 55-year-old adult and Adam Sandler saying the F word makes you turn the movie off, you gotta grow up, to be honest. Or at least, like, bake into the review, I know this is like a me thing, but there was too much swearing for me. Instead, it's like, always, I can't believe anyone would watch this movie with so much swearing. It's a word! People swear! It's okay. I'm not one of those people who's like, we're gonna teach our daughter the F word. I would say that my philosophy is that she will probably hear the F word, and then when she asks what it is, we say it's a swear word that can mean whatever you want it to mean, but don't say it until you're 18 years old in our presence. I think that's a spicy one. Some people are going to be like, 18? That's so old to say the F word in front of your parents? Some people are going to be like, I'm 35, I still don't say the F word in front of my parents. I say the F word in front of my parents. Not like, you know, Jennifer Carpenter's inimitable portrayal of Deb from Dexter, where it's like every second word. But they watch, like, you know, Swedish murder documentaries. They watch the first 48 hours on A&E about, like, real murders. You can hear the F word. You know, if you can watch Hannibal on ABC, you can hear your child say the F word. It's not that big of a... If anything, I consider that I'm kind of keeping them current. I'm like, yeah, Mom. People who were born in the 80s are swearing now. You okay with that? Is that okay with you? Yeah, yeets. Anyway, you know, like, she's into it. She's like... She thinks it's cool. I'm way more concerned about the media that my child watches and how it's, like, structured. Like, I'll be honest with you. We had her watch... she watches a decent amount of Sesame Street. Sesame Street is goated. It's entertaining. It's cute. But there's also, like, multiple lessons in every episode. Some of the lessons are like, here's how to count to 5. Some of the lessons are like, this is what a recipe is. And some of the lessons are like, don't make fun of people, they'll cry. They have a child's best interest in mind. On our smart TV, there's another, like, kid-friendly TV app that's called, like, Kidoodle or something like that. And my wife installed it, and then she played, like, one show that it was, and it was like, it had intercut scenes of, like, a 45-year-old man playing Minecraft. It was like, hello all you, and I was like, turn that off, it's poison. You're not gonna believe me, but that's like it's a true story, I swear to God. And I know you're saying, like, well, you're in this business. No, I'm not. I'm not making videos, like, these videos are not for 1.5-year-old infants. If you're, 14 and you're watching this, whatever, you're gonna be fine. Any damage that I could do it pales in comparison to the damage that's probably already been done by the life you've lived up to this point and also the media you've consumed, okay? you just shouldn't. I don't want my kid watching something like a YouTube Let's Play when they're 5, because it's so like, I'm not a cognitive scientist, right? YouTube kind of scares me because even like when my wife watches a YouTube video, I'm like, this stuff is edited by... Can I go off? This is too much. And I want to preface this by saying that there's all kinds of YouTubers out there. There's incredibly smart YouTubers. There's incredibly grounded YouTubers. Maybe it's my own bias that they seem to be outnumbered by narcissists. It's a profession that I think appeals to people who think that they're special. And I think that that describes me, as much as I would love to not admit that. There's times where I make a joke and I'm like, nobody else is making that one, for better or for worse. But like, I'll be watching a video and it's just like no idea ever makes it through. It's just like every sentence has like a jump cut and is then followed by like boom, and then is a sound effect, and then guess what? It's like there's never like an idea that comes out fully formed. It's just like, it's time for fan mail of the week. And I'm not mocking that necessarily, even though I am getting increasingly loud as I talk. Not mocking it necessarily as the run gets crazier. I'm just saying it's the kind of thing I don't want my child watching before they've read maybe 500 books. I know that sounds like a lot of books, but legitimately, like, the average children's book that she's reading right now probably has like less than 100 total words in it. So she can get there like real quick. But I would just like her to, if she for a while could just think that books are the most exciting form of media that mankind has ever created, I think that would bake in maybe like a good minimum attention span for her moving forwards, instead of having her watch like children's vlogs, which is just insane. You gotta have a lot of media literacy, I think, to watch vlogs, man. Because even if you're like 14 or 16, you watch like someone vlogging, I'm here to tell you, their whole life isn't that exciting, okay? I know, guys, because I've kind of been there. They're not traveling every day. Sometimes they're filming lunch, and then they're just sad for the rest of the day, but they cut the video together to look like every day's an adventure, okay? But a kid's not going to understand that if they're like 6 years old watching a kid, because there's so many like parenting vlog channels where they're like, guess what? We went on a vacation today. Guess what? We went to activity gym 10 times. Well, you've never seen this place before. Guess what? We saw the Lego movie in 3D. Like, a lot of life is just asking what's for dinner. And I know that sounds cynical. We do a lot of fun stuff. But like, that creates an unrealistic expectation that every single day of your life is going to be saturated with dopamine. You have to learn to derive the dopamine from within by finding out that you're having your favorite food for dinner. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. That helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!